Financial Survival Network, helping you to survive and thrive in the new economy. Get our complimentary newsletter at financialsurvivalnetwork.com. This is the Financial Survival Network.
Today's sponsor is Audible. They're the leading provider of spoken audio and entertainment. Listen to an audiobook wherever and whenever you want. I do. For more information, to get your free trial, go to audiblepodcast.com/Lutz, audiblepodcast.com/LUTZ. You are listening to the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry Lutz on 1590 WPSL, and it is time for another Triple Lutz Report. This is episode 265. The date is May 20th, 2013. Arch Crawford predicting grave things for this day. So far, hasn't happened. I've got my fingers crossed. But what I want to talk to you about is predicting gold prices. And, you know, if you've been listening to or reading the Financial Survival Network for any length of time, you know two things about me. One, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't give you personal financial advice. And frankly, the second thing is you'd be a fool to take it from me because you're virtually guaranteed that you're going to lose money in the short term if you do. And anyone who's an experienced investor has seen the markets frequently make a fool out of you. How many times have you bought a stock only to see it rapidly be slammed down, leaving you with a substantial loss? Yeah, I thought so. The problem with trying to predict the future is that it hasn't happened yet, and, of course, it is extremely uncertain, and there's no new insights there. But just because you and I cannot do it doesn't mean that it can't be done. While no one's track record is perfect, some people are quite good at it. My friends David Morgan, silver-investor.com, Nick Santiago, InTheMoneyStocks.com, Martin Armstrong, ArmstrongEconomics.com, and of course, Charles Nenner, CharlesNenner.com, all foresaw the present gold and silver price declines. The May 18th, 2013 edition of Barron's had a column, "This Time Gold Bugs May Have a Point," and it was written by Randall W. Forsyth. The article isn't the usual mainstream financial press's attack upon all things shiny. Forsyth is a skeptic about a government-led conspiracy to suppress gold and silver prices, but he sees a glimmer of hope ahead. He still suffers from the myopia of his ilk. He lacks a historical perspective on gold's traditional function and its ability to provide currency and market stability. 100 years of Fed domination has deprived all but the freest thinkers from exercising critical judgment about the current monetary system. Charles Nenner was quoted extensively in the article, and I'll read to you. Charles Nenner, who heads the research firm bearing his name, watches recurrent market cycles. Nenner, who advises hedge funds and sovereign wealth funds, calls the current swoon a correction in gold's long-term bull market, from which he recommended temporarily exiting at $1,900 the ounce at the top in 2011. Now Charles looks for a bottom sometime in June, but there could be another spill before then. The risk, he warns, is that gold tumbles to $1,284, so don't try to bottom pick just yet. And I want to read the rest of it to you and give you my take on it after a couple of words here about my favorite new sponsor, Audible. Thank you so much to Audible. We love Audible. I'll tell you a great story. It kind of saved a cross-country trip with my daughter and I. I was driving her out to Denver. She graduated from college. I told her, Britt, I'm not going to pay for you to party in New York. You have to find a job, and if you want to go to grad school later, we'll talk about it. But in the meantime, you got to get a job and you have to do something. You're not getting paid to be in New York to party. So she got all huffy, and then she did some research, and she said, Denver, third best place in the country for recently graduated college students, newly, new college grads. And she tells me she's going to move out. At first I was a little upset. It's your kid leaving the nest. You feel a little uptight about it, but I knew she made a good decision. She had thought it out. It was rational. So we're driving out there, and you know how it is with your kids. They're much smarter than you. They're quicker. They have so much more life experience, and they just know everything. And this led to some spats. So finally, after about 3 or 4 hours of driving, we weren't talking to each other anymore. So put on my iPhone, and I had downloaded the book, The Social Network, which is the story of Facebook about Mark Zuckerberg. And the movie was based on it. And we started listening to it, and she said, wow, I never listened to an audio book before. This is wonderful. I love it. And we started talking about the book, and we played it for about 8 or 9 hours of the trip, and it helped us patch things up. We totally got along well after the book, and it was just a wonderful experience. And the thing about audiobooks, yes, your imagination when you read, nothing can be better than that, let's face it. But when you're listening to an audiobook, you're getting a story told to you. It's a different experience than reading. Maybe it's not for everybody, but I think everybody should try it. So go to audiblepodcast.com/Lutz, audiblepodcast.com/LUTZ. Sign up for a free 30-day trial, and you will get a free audiobook, and I highly recommend it. You got nothing to lose. It's totally enjoyable. It's one of those things every day or several times a week I look forward to playing, listening to, and you stay up on the latest books. The newest books are almost all published in audio format the day they're released. So if you're into Michael Connelly, David Baldacci, and a lot of others, Grisham, all those books wind up there. And the Grisham books are really have an incredible narrator. The latest guy, he's amazing. I think you'll enjoy it. So audiblepodcast.com/Lutz. It's been another Triple Lutz Report. Kerry Lutz signing off. And we're back. And as an aside, Nenner also recommended the sale of Apple at $700 last September. And Randall says, in case you've been doing a Rip Van Winkle since then, the stock closed Friday at $433.26 per share. Now, look, I really can't tell you if mid-June is the time when gold and silver prices start turning around. It's outside the area of my expertise, such that it is. But as I've said over and over, the current system is unsustainable, and the West, led by the U.S., is getting ever poorer. Money printing is the illness, not the cure. And if you go to this site, you can go click on Nenner's link. He's a regular on the show. His partner, rather, is David Gerwitz. Like David a lot, he's taught me a heck of a lot about investing and how it's all about cycles. I mean, I'm fascinated by cycle research. So go to charlesnenner.com, click the contact, send David any inquiries. David's real open. He likes to help you. He's into helping you avoid the tops and hopefully buy at the bottoms. It's something I've been a master at doing the converse of. And do I think everything is about cycles? Well, no, not everything is about cycles. But cycles play a very important role in the whole investment paradigm. I mean, they just do. You can't deny it. If you've looked at them, you realize it. Whether it's sunspots, I don't know how cycles work. I'm the first to admit. I don't get it. I've never understood it. but they do seem to repeat themselves alarmingly. For instance, one thing he says, every 100 years, there's a world war, beginning the second decade of the new century. Will it happen here, or has it been happening? Very well could possibly happen. But more importantly is you need to be aware of these things. Cycles, they just give you a way to check your reasoning, to give you a final check on that decision, whether to go or to stay. That's what I like about them. I like people who tell me that I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, send an email to kl@kerrylutz.com. I want to hear from you. It's important that you do this check. You need to check your thinking constantly, because you can be wrong. As much as you think you're right, it's possible to be wrong. And usually the more right I think I am, I'm sure I am, the more wrong I turn out to be. I mean, I didn't foresee a correction in precious metals prices starting in 2011. Was I surprised by it? Certainly not. But it came, I missed it. Guys like Nenner, he got people out of gold at 1900 in 2011. I'm not that good. But what I do know is I can spot trends, and I'm pretty good at economics. Although there are those who would argue, especially on the left. But economics is separate from politics, and the economic system that we have now is really killing the world. And, well, I don't look forward to the alternative. In fact, the sooner we get through it, the better off we are. And don't forget, libertymastermind.us. Check out the lineup of speakers. We just got Ned Schmidt. I'm really excited about getting him in. He's a guy who's into agricultural commodities. He knows tons about it. We just did an interview with him last week. He's really well-rounded. He's been bullish on beef prices for quite some time. They just hit another record beef, and Ned really has his pulse on this agricultural commodities. And you can't eat gold, you can't eat silver, but you certainly can eat agricultural commodities, and you can use them to hedge your own personal family expenditures and the ever-increasing inflation that you see in food prices. It's really staggering. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Look up that chart where we showed how much things have gone up over the past 4 years, 5 years now, since 2008. It's staggering. Anywhere from 100% to 300+% food prices have gone up. And that's not an accident. There's real good reasons for that. So again, hope we see you at Liberty Mastermind Symposium, June 28th, 29th in Dallas, Texas. You're going to have a great time. It's not like a bunch of people just getting up, talking to you, speaking to you. They're giving you concrete advice, ways that you can act now to preserve your wealth and to help your family get through these coming really bad times, which are just really starting to come and emerge, regardless of the so-called real estate boomlet or the stock market reaching new highs. Whatever it is, it's all a consequence of funny money. So libertymastermind.us, sign up now, or go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Click the link there, whichever one you like. Just join me, David, Martin Armstrong, Jeff Berwick, Robert Ian, Ned Schmidt, Michael Krieger, so many others. Just join us there. We really want to see you. It's been another Triple Lutz Report. Kerry Lutz, signing off. This show was brought to you by Audible. When it comes to audiobooks, there's only one place to go. That's audiblepodcast.com/Lutz, audiblepodcast.com/LUTZ. Sign up today, get a free 1-month membership and a free audiobook. And send us an email. Let us know how you like that book.